All right, if you're a San Diego State football fan, I think this past weekend was a really fun weekend. So many players drafted, 4 different Aztecs, most players in the Mountain West. Only 13 programs in the country had more players drafted than San Diego State. Not just the drafted guys, a lot of guys signing as undrafted free agents as well. It's great to catch up right now, as always, with the head coach of the Aztecs, Brady Hoke. He's joining us from Arizona at the Mountain West meetings. And, Coach, it's great to have you with us here on John and Jim. It was cool for us. What's it like for you as the coach of these players? I mean, how exciting is it to see players getting drafted and signed out of San Diego State like this?
Well, it's always exciting to see these guys have a chance to continue their careers and, play the game that they love. And, I think there's 9 total that will at some point be in a camp from what we know. But, it really proud of the guys, proud of, how they were recruited to San Diego State and then how they were developed once they got here. So we're real excited for them all.
Coach, what does it say about your program that you guys had more players drafted than any other school in the Mountain West?
Well, I would say, they were developed awful well, and I would say they were recruited well, and that's a big part of it, and the guys, Zach and Cam and Dan and Matt, there's no doubt that those guys deserve to be there. But I think there's 5 other guys that really bring something to the table and their development that we're really excited about.
Brady Hoke joining us right now from the Mountain West meetings in Arizona on John and Jim, Xtra 1360. You mentioned some of the players that were drafted, including Cam Thomas. What type of opportunity do you see it as to play in Arizona and specifically to have a teammate like J.J. Watt to learn from?
Well, it's funny you say that because I was talking to Cam last night, and I told him, I said, look, I had the privilege of coaching Julius Peppers at the Panthers. And you're talking about a guy who is truly a professional in everything that he does, takes notes, how he practices, how he takes care of his body. And I told Cam, you got the same kind of guy to learn from with J.J. Watt. So take advantage of it. And I talked to all the guys, everybody free agent and the guys who were drafted. And we talked about, hey, be yourself, take advantage of the opportunity, and take one of those veterans who seems to be the leader or do things right, and learn from them. Because, my brother's been coaching in the National Football League for 18 years, and we talk a lot about the experiences he has and had and the guys that he's been with. And, it's amazing. Those guys who show up every day and have a great attitude and want to get after it, how far they go with their NFL career.
Coach, Daniel Bellinger, he's going to the Giants. Brian Daboll, I think that system's going to fit well for Daniel. How do you envision Daniel being at the next level in the spot that he got drafted to?
Well, I think, number one, Daniel's going to be great because he has that desire and he has that work ethic. He for us, he was a great leader for us. He was a guy who understood the game of football and the physicalness that goes along with the game of football. So, I mean, I hate just talking about one guy, but I mean, all those guys, they earn the right to have an opportunity to continue their careers in football.
Brady Hoke joining us right now on Xtra 1360. Obviously, coaches, Matt Araiza, the hype around his punting ability over the last season was just incredible. The viral nature of it. So he gets drafted to the Bills. I guess my question would be this, and I know you're not a special teams, you haven't been a special teams coach, but what changes for Matt when the elements change like that? And he's played in this league where you're kicking at elevation or you could be kicking in cold weather, but in Buffalo and in that division, it would seem to be almost a little bit of a different game than kicking in San Diego.
Yeah, well, what happens is it's a mental toughness deal. That's what it becomes. and he is a mentally tough guy. He plays unbelievably hard. And when I say that, I'm talking about a guy who's a kicker and a punter. I mean, his mental attitude to how to play the game, as far as guys I've been around, when you look at the specialist, he's unbelievable. And I think Matt will have a great career. The special teams coach for the Bills is an Aztec. He's Farwell, and I think that's pretty cool.
Coach, how cool is it to have brothers drafted? Is Zach Thomas? How cool was that to see that happen?
Yeah, I was so happy. I knew Cam was going to be okay as far as getting drafted and having the opportunities, and I really thought Zach for sure was going to be a free agent. But for him to get drafted and have that opportunity, I'm really, really excited for him. And I used to always kid both of them when they would do one-on-one pass pro, and which one could come home for dinner and which couldn't, depending on who won the rep. And they both are very, aggressive guys who we're real excited about.
Brady Hoke with us right now on John and Jim. You mentioned the fact that a number of your former players were also signed as undrafted free agents. What advice did you offer those players, knowing that there's a lot of players that have had success in the NFL that weren't drafted and went that route as well?
Well, I think the biggest thing, John, is, be who you are, be who got you to this point, but outwork everybody in the room. Mm-hmm. And, that's the big thing, and I think, look, I think Trenton Thompson's one of the best football players I've been around. Saguna Luby, Hoke, and Greg Bell. I mean, all those guys, and Billy Dunkel. I mean, I've been around football for a while and around some pretty good programs. And I think all these guys, if they'll do the right things and work like a professional works, I think they'll be great.
Coach, what's next for your football program this spring and summer?
Well, obviously, our guys are just finishing next week the finals, the next 2 weeks, and they'll get a little time to go home. The guys who are in town will be in the weight room, and then right now the coaches are on the road recruiting and just trying to get everybody ready to win a championship.
What are these Mountain West meetings like? What do they have you meeting about, Coach?
Don't worry about it. Believe me.
Yeah, no, I do.
That's a whole nother story.
That's a whole other story.
No, and we got a great commissioner and great conference. Believe me, it's just sometimes I'd like to get some answers about the NIL, where we're going with that, because I don't know if we're in a good place with that in the portal.
Could you have
at the same time? And I said that a year ago.
Could you have envisioned it like this, Coach? I mean, what we've seen play out, not just in football and men's basketball, where some of the NIL deals are being discussed like publicly, where the deals are in the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more.
Yeah, we were able to, get stipends, and we were able to, take care of guys a little better. But I don't know if everything we're doing is what we need to do for college football. And, I think the health and wellness and all those things, but, I'm not comfortable with what all is going on. Let's put it that way.
Mm. Yeah, crazy times, no question about it. Coach, we appreciate it. We're excited for just a few months from now, September 3rd, your football team on the field against the University of Arizona here in San Diego at Snapdragon Stadium. Congratulations on a successful weekend, and we look forward to doing it again soon.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.